Hello everyone, Namaskar. I am Chakravarti from India. On behalf of Sahajoga Global Family, I extend a very warm and happy welcome to all seekers of truth. You please sit comfortably, relax, and enjoy the session. Today's topic is Rest the Unrest, meditation for coping with stress and anxiety. The aim is to address emotional, mental, physical, and psychological imbalances by awakening our innate spiritual potential. Aim Plus for the emancipation of all mankind to rest the unrest. Now you can see this lady, she is overwhelmed with so many problems, so many issues, and a lot of questions which remain unanswered in our life. We are going to address some of these few questions which is displayed on this slide. You can see, why do some people always get sick and the others are healthy in the same identical environment? These are questions, pondering questions. There's no answer, but we will give you an answer at the end of this session. Why do some people in the same environment, in the same situation, feel different stress levels? Also, this question will be answered subsequently. Now, I want to present this presentation in 4 parts. Part 1, what is stress and anxiety? Part 2, stress and Sahaj Yoga. Part 3, self-realization. And Part 4, meditation. Taking the first part, that is stress and anxiety. Before we go further, we must examine what is the 21st century environment. The environment is full of tough competition in every field. You have to emerge as the winner. Depleting opportunities, even with qualifications, exist. Instability, fear of war, racial discrimination, various violent movements, extremism, disruptions in daily life due to lockdowns, etc. Environment is totally materialistic. Hire and fire are the issues. Galloping technology that is information technology, is outstripping human understanding. Old skills, knowledge, and cultural heritage are becoming redundant. Unprecedented stress on all professionals. Corporate pressure, high goals, and high targets. Now, how to become the ideal person, leader, manager who will achieve goals without becoming stressed? Now, there are numerous examples or definitions of what is stress. A lot of books and dictionaries, stress has numerous definitions. But I've chosen a very simple and a very generic definition. Stress is a circle of inefficient thoughts hovering around a point of fear. Now, what causes body stress? A body condition that occurs in response to actual or anticipated difficulties in life. Stress is managed as a result of major or minor events in life, such as bereavement, divorce, loss of a job due to retrenchment and lockdowns, in response to daily problems, a threat to their life, any situation in which you are unable to cope with the challenge like corruption, red tapeism, reservations, and unable to meet family demands. Now, as a result of this, there are certain stress-related illness. Several kinds, as stress suppresses body's ability to fight off disease. That is, the body immunity goes down. Diseases of stomach and intestines, abnormal heart rhythms and even heart attacks, diverse illness such as flu, COVID, glandular fever, herpes, simplex, some kinds of cancer, spondylitis, high BP, and depressive psychosis. What are the common signs or symptoms of stress? Increased heart rate, raised BP, muscle tension, mental depression, inability to concentrate. Typical reactions include social withdrawal, increased use of drugs and alcohol, feeling of helplessness. Now there are certain employees' health issues, those who are employed in various firms and companies. First is depression and anxiety, sleeplessness due to change in work timings. Some work very late, some work very early, some work in the afternoon. So this causes sleeplessness because the sleep cycle in us is disturbed. Headaches and eye strain, back, shoulder, and joint pains, overweight and obesity, long working hours, work pressure, incredibly high work targets, as mentioned earlier, decreased physical activity, hoarseness in voice, and hearing problems. Besides this, there may be others also peculiar to every individual. Now, where does this stress come from? Please remember that stress comes from within us and not without. Stress comes from how we perceive the world and the situation and not from outside. So everything is in the mind. The perception of the world is from the mind, our thinking. Now, connected with this, we will go as to how to remain in thoughtless awareness meditation. If you see this sine curve figure on the left, you will see that this is a thought which rises, goes to the elation point, and then goes down to the depression point, and another thought rises again in the same process, goes to the elation and comes down. Sorry. So this thought process is a continuous effect in our brain. We are bombarded with thoughts throughout the day and night, except when we are sleeping. Now, what is the state which we can achieve? That is a thoughtlessness state through by controlling our thoughts. We cannot. It is humanly not possible. You may be doing any courses, any types of meditations, but only through Sahaj Yoga meditation, which has the divine help, you can control or you can pause or you can have a thoughtless state. So the first is that a thought rises and then goes down. So we have to have a gap or a time lag between the first and the second thought. This time lag is the space or the time lag in which we remain in thoughtless awareness. This is the stage of being in the present. As you can see from the diagram on the right, the human beings are always thinking of the past or the future, but never in the present. This is humanly not possible for us to control our thoughts and get to the center or to the present. For this, Sahaj Yoga has a solution which we will describe subsequently. Now the roots of stress. The total personality is as under. The geometry of a person or a personality is rightly maintained as long as all its sections are in right proportion. Now these various segments or sections are there to make us a complete personality. This forms as our profile is consisting of these segments or sections which make us the complete personality. Any compromise, any increase in one will ultimately give a decrease in the other. Any increase in body will affect some other place. The mind will shrink and the body will grow. So we will demonstrate it by the next slide. As you can see, for those who are in corporates and high-fine jobs, they will always go higher and higher. They want to have higher ambitions, want to do well, get fame and money, materialism, all things are there. So they want to have a good career. They want to please their bosses. So they work over time. They work, they stress themselves, and they go out of their section. So since it has to be balanced, the profile has to be balanced, it will get reduced in the family segment. How it happens that when a person works late at night or very early in the morning, then the family is neglected. you cannot meet the family, you don't speak to them, you don't spend time with them, family, and therefore there is a shortfall or there is a decrease in the segment of the family when there's an increase of the segment in the career. So anywhere you increase, it will get decreased in other sections. So this is the basic of a whole personality or a whole person. That is the inner self and the outer self. Now, how do we know we are in stress and imbalance? Now, the first important step is self-realization. When you have taken your self-realization, then the mother energy in us awakens and we can feel the chakras and nadis on our fingertips, on spine and on the top of head. If channels are in stress, we feel low flow of energy on either hands. And if chakras in stress, we feel tingling sensation on fingers. I will demonstrate this in subsequent slides. Now I'll give you a brief on Sahaj Yoga as to what is Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj Yoga is the gift of Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi to humanity. Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, the founder of Sahaj Yoga, she was born on March 21, 1923 at Chhindwara in Madhya Pradesh, India. She took part in freedom struggle of India. She was closely associated with Mahatma Gandhi in her earlier days. She studied medicine and psychology. She was married to Sir C.P. Srivastava. Her Holiness Sri Mataji was twice nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. She was born with complete self-realization. She carried out study of the multifaceted problems of human beings to enable her to give en masse realization, which is called the Maha Yoga these days. Her unique discovery was Sahaj Yoga on May 5, 1970, near Nargol, about 95 miles from Mumbai, India. Now, this is a general description of the human anatomy and the subtle body that is located in us. This is the subtle body or the mechanism that is already made by the divine into our body system, into our physical body. This subtle body consists of three nadis or three channels, 1, 2, 3. It consists of 7 chakras, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it consists of a crown that is on the top of the head, and on the top of the head of every human being you can feel a soft palpable bone during our childhood. That is the fontanel bone area or the area called limbic area also, and talu in our language. Now these channels, all the channels and all these chakras or the energy plexus are connected and get integrated at the top, as you can see in the Sahasrara or the seventh chakra, which is in white here, on the top of our head. And when we are connected, a lotus formation of this 1,000 petals is formed on the top of our head. All the chakras are indicated at the tip of our fingers through the color codes that you can see. I'll further describe and go further. 3 channels, 7 chakras as described, and the Kundalini. Now the Kundalini is at the base of our spinal cord, in a bone called the triangular bone or the sacrum bone, known by the Greeks about many years back. And in that is lodged the divine mother energy. This mother energy, when activated by a self-realized person or Sri Mataji, it gets activated, it ascends to the central channel, goes through these energy plexus, refurbishes them, energizes them if they are sick or some ailment is there, diseased there. It energizes them, refurbishes them, goes on top, pierces through the fontanel bone area and the crown area, and connects us to the all-pervading power of God Almighty, which is all around us, and we get our yoga. That's why it's called Sahaja Yoga, which will come to slightly later. Now, a brief about the channels that are present in our body. The first is the Ida Nadi, or the left sympathetic nervous system. It is marked in blue. It originates from the first Muladhara chakra, goes up, and it is the channel of desire. All that we desire, any desire that emanates in us, is from this channel. It pertains to the past, and it also gives us the pure desire. All seeking, all bhakti, all love for God is from this channel. It emanates from this channel. This channel forms an organization on the right side of our brain called the superego. This is due to the conditioning in human beings from his birth to in his growth. All that our parents or people who bring us up or guide us in our life, they always tell us, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. That forms a conditioning in our body, which is in the form of superego on the right side of our brain. Now the second channel is called the Pingala Nadi, or the right sympathetic nervous system. It is marked in yellow, as you can see, originates from the second chakra, Swadhisthana, and this is the channel of energy or activity. All energy required for us to work, walk, anything that we do, read, write, jump, do exercise, all energy is provided by this channel. This channel is of the future, and it forms an organization here on the left side of our brain called the ego. Whatever we do, it gives us an ego. Anything you do, it gives you an ego. Now, this ego is due to our upbringing, wherein we say, I have done this, or our parents or people tell us, do this, do that, do this, do that. That gives us, and when we do that, what they tell us to do, it gives us an ego, and that is formed on the left side of our brain called the ego. Now, when the ego and superego are balanced in equal quantity, in equal measure, then the channel flows, or the central channel opens up, which is called the Sushumna Nadi, or the parasympathetic nervous system, marked in white. This is also the evolutionary channel, and it emerges from the Kundalini as described above, and it is the one which gives us balance. When those left channel and the right channel are in equal balance, our energy level or our flow is in the central channel, and we are in the present connected to the divine. Now, connected with this are the 7 chakras or energy plexus, which I have already described. However, you can have a look at the various qualities or properties these chakras have. Basically, what happens when we go for self-realization, the Kundalini at the base of the spine, as described earlier, in the triangular bone or the sacrum bone, this gets activated and it rises up and ascends up in an upward direction, refurbishes and energizes these chakras, cures them of all diseases, ailments, rises up through the central channel. It pierces through the fontanelle or limbic area, and it unites us, or it joins us with the all-pervading power of God Almighty, and we feel, and we are united, or we are in a yoga mode. Now, when we are connected with the divine, what happens? We feel a sense of peace, a sense of happiness, and our spirit is joyous, and we are a happy love. Our breath is under control, and no unnecessary thoughts come to us. We are in a thoughtless awareness. Now, this is the present state when we are all connected to the divine power, and the divine does everything for you. We have to do nothing. In Sahaja Yoga, everything is done by the divine. Only you have to wish for your self-realization. You have to desire for your self-realization. You have to ask very humbly, which will come subsequently. Now, as described, the Kundalini or the mother energy is lodged in this triangular or the sacrum bone in 3.5 coils. It is the main energy which connects us to the divine power. Now, this will be demonstrated by a short video. Kindly pay attention. The Kundalini will rise from its base in the sacrum bone and reach the top and connect to the all-pervading power of God Almighty. Now I'll pause here a bit to demonstrate to you. When a child is conceived by the mother and the child's age is around 2.5 to 3 months in the womb of the mother, the divine energy or the living force of God, the creative energy of God, the living energy of God enters from the fontanel bone area on the top of the head. The head is like a prism. At that time, it forms like a prism, and the spinal cord is like a thread. The head, which is like a prism, it splits the God's energy into three channels as described earlier. One goes to the left, one to the right, and one to the center, and it forms. As the energy descends down the central channel, it goes and lies in the sacrum bone. The residual energy after energizing these or going through these chakras, it resides in the sacrum bone in the coiled form known as the Kundalini, which I described you earlier. What Sri Mataji has done basically is that this triangular bone in the area, the Kundalini that is there, which is the mother energy or reflection of herself, this energy she made to rise or ascend in the human body. As this, as this energy rises up, it cures and refurbishes these chakras which are having some ailments or disease or any type of sickness, these chakras over a period of time. As it refurbishes them, energizes it goes up and again goes through that fontanel bone area, pierces through that and connects us to the divine energy, and that is how we get our yoga. Now, what is required to be done for yoga? I'm sure every one of you want to get your self-realization and your connection with the divine, isn't it? Let's have a look how it can be done. So, what is required to be done? Now, every seeker will normally ask you what we have to do. Well, we don't have to do anything. The answer is nothing. We don't do anything. Only you have to have three things with us. One is your pure desire that you want the realization from Her Holiness Sri Mata. Second is that do not feel guilty about any wrong you have done in the past. Do not feel guilty. Third is forgive everyone and your own self for all mistakes and wrongs done in the past. These are the three requirements which should be there with you, and you should be a seeker. If you are not seeking, if you don't have any desire to seek, then you will not get the self-realization. Now, what are the steps involved in what Sri Mataji will demonstrate? Basically, I'll just explain to you so that when Mother does it, we have to close our eyes, remove our shoes, and hear what she says and put our hand position accordingly. So the first position is either when you are squatting like this, or you are sitting on the chair. If you are sitting on the chair, put both your legs apart. Put your left hand on your lap, because the left hand is the channel of desire and the right hand is the channel of activity. So the right hand will work on the left side of our body. So we have kept the left hand on our lap, and the right hand is the first position is keep on our left heart. You can see this subsequently by hearing only. You will be able to place your hand or palm accordingly. The second position is move that hand or palm down slightly where the rib cage ends and the abdomen area starts on the left side of our body. The third position is further slide down where the abdomen ends and the leg portion starts. Then you come back to the fourth position, back to where the second position was. That is also the fourth position. That is where the rib cage ends and the abdomen starts. And the fifth position, back again where we first kept our hand, that is the heart area. Next is move your left hand from your heart on your left shoulder, go back and hold your neck from the back tightly and turn your head towards right. The next position is hold your palm against your temple area as if you are having a headache. Put your head down like this and forgive everyone. This is the place where you have to forgive everyone. Next is put this hand at the back of your head. Throw your head on your palm with your eyes on top, that is towards the sky. Though it will be closed, eyes must be closed. And the next position is extend your palm like this, open your palm fully like this, and the center portion of your palm, which you can see, it has to be put on the fontanel bone or limbic area on the top of your head. That soft bone, palpable bone, which is on the top of your head when you are a small child. Press it like this, and then you have to rotate and humbly ask for your self-realization as Sri Mataji will indicate. So now, are you all ready for the realization? So let's go through the self-realization experience by Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi.
Keep your eyes closed. First of all, please put your right hand on your heart. All the time the left hand is towards me. Now, here you have to say, in your heart, with all sincerity, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question 3 times in your heart. This is a very fundamental question. Now bring the right hand on to the left hand side of your stomach. in the upper part. Here press it. Now this is the center of your mastery, your guidance, your Guru Tattva as they say. So ask a question, Mother, am I my own master? This is a question to be asked 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Now, bring your right hand down below, in the lower part of the abdomen. Now, this is the center from which all the divine work is done. All the pure work is done. You have to ask 6 times because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 6 times you just ask. As a result of this asking, the Kundalini starts getting awake. Now to help the Kundalini rise, you have to cooperate with her. So please put your right hand on the left hand side in the upper part of your abdomen and press it on the stomach. Now here you have to say with full confidence to help the Kundalini to rise. Mother, I am my own master. This you have to say 10 times. These are the 10 commandments which you have to say. That, Mother, I am my own master. No. 10 times with full confidence. Now please raise your right hand to your heart. Now, here you have to say, again with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This is the truth. You are the Spirit. But you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This you have to say 12 times. Now one has to know that God Almighty is the ocean of love. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So He forgives. Whatever wrong you do, He forgives. So don't feel guilty and put your right hand across on the left hand side in the corner which is made by your neck and your shoulder. Now here you have to say again with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say, Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. I am not guilty at all. Please say. Please say. Now raise your hand across on your forehead. And it's a very important step. Here you have to say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it from your heart. How many times is not the point. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now some would say that it's very difficult to forgive. But it's a myth that we do not forgive or we forgive. We do not do anything in both the cases. But if we don't forgive, then we play into wrong hands. So please say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now please take your hand on the back agya, the same center, on the back side of your head and allow your head to rest on it and push it back a little. Now here, you have to say for your satisfaction because you always feel guilty that, oh divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive. Please forgive from your heart. Stretch your hand fully and put your center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a very soft bone in your child. Press it hard. Press hard your scalp. You have to move it 7 times, saying one thing, which you have to ask for. Mother, please give us my self-realization. Because I cannot force on you. So you have to ask for it. 7 times, press it hard and move it 7 times. Very hard. Slowly. Saying that.
We thank Sri Mataji for her giving self-realization to everyone. Thank you, Sri Mataji. Thank you, Mother. We thank you from the core of our heart. Now, next we come to the last part, is part 4, what is Sahaja Yoga meditation. After we've got our realization, then the Sahaja Yoga meditation. Sahaja means effortless, while yoga means connection. Sahaja also means born with you. That which I described to you is born with you. And yoga is union with the divine. Sorry. Sahaja Yoga meditation is a state of deeply connected mental silence, a state of effortless equipoise and integration. It facilitates not only the reduction of stress, but other therapeutic and integrational processes. Now we will carry out a small exercise or a small meditation. All of you, if you have not removed, you can remove your shoes, look inside, sit properly. Now please close your eyes. Watch your thoughts. Do not react or respond to your thoughts. Slowly take your attention to the top of your head, to the crown of the head, in the fontanelle or limbic bone area, limbic area. Let the tension be there in this area of fontanelle bone. Now slowly breathe in, deep, like we do deep breathing. Inhale, stop, hold, release. Stop. Hold. Again, breathe in slowly. Stop. Pause. Breathe out slowly. Stop. Pause. Again, breathe in. Stop. Pause. Slowly breathe out. Stop. Pause. If you continue this process for some time, gradually the breathing rhythm will become slower and slower and slower. And a moment will come, or a time will come, when this breathing you will feel is almost not there. You are not breathing. When this state happens, this is a state of thoughtless awareness. At that time, your Kundalini power or the mother energy will rise from the sacrum bone and go up the energy plexuses through the spinal cord, pierce the fontanel bone area, and unite ourself with the divine self. And the union occurs, and you will feel peace, joyful, happiness, and thoughtlessly aware. Though you are thoughtless, but you are aware of your surroundings and everything that is going on around you. This is the basic difference between other meditations and Sahaj Yoga meditation, that you are aware, consciously aware, but you are thoughtless. Now you can practice it in your homes when you get back after the self-realization, and you will feel the thoughtless awareness. Now, what is unique about Sahaj Yoga meditation? It makes one his own doctor to diagnose, cure his own problems. It is completely natural and devoid of side effects. It is very scientific, referred as meta-science by Russian scientists. It's spontaneous, no physical effort, only strong desire, a scientist's open-mindedness and curiosity are enough. Now to sum up, we have carried out during this presentation what is stress and its effects, brief on Sahaj Yoga, self-realization and meditation for coping with stress. With this, I come to the end of this presentation. I thank you all. I am grateful to the participants, our guests and invitees for enriching us with their august presence. Hope you all enjoyed the session. May Divine bless you. May God bless you. Jai Shri Mataji.